bRIDGE is a Lilly-funded grant program and partnership between Lutheridge and St. Michael Lutheran Church in Greenville, South Carolina. It is focused on faithful parent formation, but we do it by using the best parts of camp, the experiences, the games, the truly wonderful parts of camp is taken into your home and into your church in new and creative ways. We like to say we're training our parents to be their kids' counselors. Just like at Lutheridge, how we train our counselors to form faith in their kids and in their cabins, we want parents to have that same level of faith formation in their own children. And so we want to bring the best parts of camp into church and into home. There are 3 parts of bRIDGE: bRIDGE Camp, bRIDGE Church, and bRIDGE Home.
bRIDGE Camp is a weekend retreat at Lutheridge, so your congregation's families will come to camp to experience a great weekend. Our main hope for you that weekend is to build connections with one another, because friendships are really at the root of what we hope we get out of this program. And so we'll spend lots of time for parents to be able to meet one another and engage in conversations while also learning those parenting faith skills. And kids get to come enjoy camp and have fun, play games and sing songs. And all of it is being guided by your Lutheridge staff who are going to walk with you through the year.
So my highlight for bRIDGE so far was definitely the bRIDGE retreat, and it was just a dedicated weekend for our families and other families from our church just to gather.
So the retreat was wonderful, and one of the gifts that I wasn't quite expecting from it is that it really bonded our kids with other kids in the church.
I think a highlight for me was the retreat to start the kickoff of the program. It was, again, a great chance to connect with other families in the congregation, have a more in-depth conversation about what they're experiencing with trying to raise children in the church.
Yeah. And I think our kids loved it because they are kids that love to be outside, and we were at camp, and so anything that involves church and camp that was together for our children is really important.
bRIDGE doesn't just stay at camp though, it moves to the congregation. In bRIDGE Church, we take all the magic of camp with all of our counselors and the songs and games and our wonderful time with our kids, and we bring it to our church homes. It's really fun to see camp making space here in our own spaces, whether it's our fellowship halls or our sanctuaries or our pews. It's really fun to see camp showing up in church. What I love so much about that too is that counselors actually come and help with the programming. We see the same people doing camp magic from a summer, and now they're in our church, hanging with our kids, knowing their names, teaching them songs here where they live. Perhaps more than anything else, apart from all of the camp wonderful things for our kids, is that this program also offers specific innovative offerings for our parents, ways that they can gather together to support and to learn together how to be faith formation folks in their home and in their community. This program happens from October to May, and it's a wonderful way in which we see camp moving into the life of a congregation.
We share dinner together, and then the kids, usually we have something all together, like a game or skits or something, and then the kids get some time to go and continue to deepen their relationships and have some faith time, while the parents get some real check-in and community time.
That we just get to be with other parents that are going through the thick of it at the same time. You know, we are in a faith where it's okay to question, but people still don't do it a lot. And so bRIDGE has been a space for us just to be really open, say that we're struggling with parenting, say that our kids aren't liking to come to church. And everybody just works together, and it's just been really powerful for me.
What are the struggles of bringing your kids to church? What are the struggles of sharing your faith? What about when kids ask tough questions? So these are all things that the parents had some time with other faithful parents to sit and talk about.
bRIDGE Home takes place wherever your family is, most likely at your home, of course, but it's housed on a cell phone in a Cabin Time app. The app is created and designed to emulate what happens at Lutheridge every single night of the week that your kids are campers. Every night, the cabin gathers for cabin time with their counselor. They light a candle, they share highs and lows and God moments. They talk about where they saw God in their day and what God is up to in their week of camp. Cabin Time as an app then goes home with you, and so you can do Cabin Time every night or as often as possible as a part of bedtime routines or maybe even at the dinner table. And then your children get to pick a activity. Our favorite at home is the camp songs. We always listen to a Lutheridge song, and it's a great way to end the day. But we also have activities like a little mini scavenger hunt where you go and find something that reminds you of love, for instance. There's also Bible stories and memory verses and other options for your kids to choose each night. Finally, we conclude with a prayer. Often there's some kind of interactive component and some way in which your children get to participate in your prayer together. Cabin Time is a great way for you to spend time as a family talking about what God is up to in your family life every day.
Our nightly routine of having a prayer, a God moment, and then asking for input for the prayer. Who do you want to pray for, or things you want to pray about?
And I think we're a little bit better about talking about faith when things pop up in our daily lives. I'm not sure that was a skill set we were intentional about prior to this program, and it's something we've certainly tried to grow into.
The other day, our daughter, she's 7, and she asked for us to do the app, and we sat down and we did it, and she goes, this is definitely my God moment, and it was really precious.
Yeah. It helps empower us as parents to use faith in our household so that Jesus and church isn't just something that we do on Sundays.
It's just been amazing to watch the impact of just a little bit of intentional focus on parents and the ways that it's already blessed our church community.
I'm a parent of 2 small girls, and my wife and I realize how hard it is. There is pressure right now to be perfect parents, to be the best parents that the world wants us to be. And on top of that, it feels like there's no resources. We feel alone and isolated. So Bridge comes along and says, not so fast. You're a part of a village, a community, a congregation. And when Bridge gathers those parents together, we learn how to support one another in ways we could have never imagined before.
This program brought us here. It immediately felt part of the community, and so now I think the biggest change in our routine is just the fact that we are at church almost every Sunday now, and that feels really, really good.
They want to go to Sunday school. They want to hang out with their friends at church. They beg to go to the children's choir because of those relationships that they really formed at the Bridge retreat.
For that, our son has gone to Lutheridge for years since he was in between his kindergarten and first grade year, and every time we drive down that road to leave camp, he would say, I wish we could bring camp to church. And so when we learned about the program, and that's exactly what it's built to do, and we've been really excited to just be part of that conversation. How do we bring that literal mountaintop experience from camp home to church every Sunday?
Anytime we can bring elements of camp to church, I think just makes the church a better experience for us all.
Me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary.